Why do you want them to listen to your podcast?
So that when they think about starting a business, they've got the content that is pointing them in the right direction.
That is such a valuable piece of advice there.
The change in mindset makes a massive difference.
Welcome to Aussie Lawn Star.
Welcome to the dungeon, Steve. How you doing?
Good, mate. How are you? Thank you.
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. So I've known you for probably a couple of years now, I reckon.
Yep.
I'm just trying to think. It's back before I went to Tassie. We first started chatting.
Yeah. It wasn't long after I actually started the business.
Yeah.
Which was May 22.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whereabouts are you? I know you're in Victoria, but I have no idea geographically in Victoria. I was talking to you before about my motorbike ride through Victoria, and I was like, I know where I went, but I have no idea where everything is.
Well, you nearly made it here, actually. Another couple of hours down the road. So I'm in Traralgon on the in Gippsland, Latrobe Valley, Gippsland, sort of east of Melbourne, southeast.
Yep. So if I'd kept on going from Omeo heading down south, I would have headed your direction, sort of.
Yeah, you made it to Orbost, didn't you?
Yes.
Yep. Well, if you had to come basically 2 more hours further down the Princess Freeway.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to Orbost and we turned left.
Yeah, I don't blame you. The highway's pretty boring and straight.
But when we left Orbost, we headed back up to Bombala and we got snow on the road going up there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, yeah. Was it much?
No, thankfully, but it was fresh falling snow while we were riding. At first, it was just like, I think that's sleet, and then start seeing white on the sides of the road, and it's like, okay, it's definitely snow.
Yep. We had a similar experience in Tasmania going through. I think it's called the Road of 99 Bends or something out near the old mining town. I can't remember because it was so bloody cold and wet. Oh.
I think I know where you're talking about there.
Yeah. Is it Queenstown?
That's one of the places. I'm not sure. No, I think
it was a magnificent road, but it was pissing rain and sleet, some of it, and you could barely do 10 kilometres an hour on it. It was so cold.
Yeah. Well, that ride from Orbost back up to Bombala was pretty miserable. When we got to Bombala, we got told the road from Bombala back to Cooma was not suitable for riding, and we were quite happy to call it a day.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yep. Yeah, I've only been over the top of those hills once before in a car, and on our way back from Morbury, actually, and it was very foggy and wet that day too, and you could barely see the lines on the road.
Yeah.
Driving up over Buller and all that.
Yeah, there you go. So we want to tell your story about being in business. You mentioned May 2022 was when you started.
Yep.
And you're in Traralgon.
Yep, Traralgon, yep.
So when you started business, had you thought about it for much before you started, or was this a spur of the moment decision?
No, well, it was sort of a spur of the moment, more of a one day. All right, we'll go back to the start. So when I was younger, I actually did lawn mowing as a side job or as a job in between jobs, and I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay.
And I did it for a local guy, just a private guy named Steve's Home and Garden. Actually, quite funny. I actually ended up doing that job for a couple of years and always enjoyed doing it and being out and walking around. And the joke sort of always was, one day I'll just start my own business up or, and actually that Christmas beforehand, so I ended up getting my brother-in-law a job at the same place I was working, he ended up buying the business off the owner.
Yeah.
And he'd been in business quite a few years. And I said to him at Christmas time, I said, if you hear of any businesses coming up for sale, let me know.
Yeah.
And that was the Christmas before that May.
Okay.
So I think it was late January. He actually rang me one day and said, I just ran into a guy who's selling his business.
Yeah.
And, a couple of months later.
Yeah, nice. So you went and had a chat to the guy that was selling the business.
Yeah.
What did it look like when you were buying it? Did it look like it was a good business? I'm guessing you bought it, so it must have been pretty good. But
well, yes, it was a good bit. It came with 2 walkers. Which was the icing on the cake, really. And it comes with 75 clients.
Walker ride-on mowers, in case people are thinking they're talking about walking frames for old people.
Well, the old guy, he was an elderly guy I bought it off, so which was part of the reason why I bought it.
One of those walkers would be a B series like I've had,
Yeah, B23,
and the other one would be the grass handling system.
Yep, T23.
Yeah, okay, nice. That's a good combo.
It is. And that B23, well, it is a machine. It is one of the toughest lawnmowers I've ever used. It just goes so good.
They are good.
I hit a tree stump at flat speed today, and I reckon we pulled about a foot of air over the top of it and cleared it. And it hurt. But the mower's fine. It didn't damage it at all. I was blown away. I thought when we landed, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Game over. But no, that 52-inch deck, side discharge deck, is one tough thing.
Yeah. So how many customers did the guy have when you bought the business?
75.
75. And was that a mix of residential and commercial work?
Actually, no, I don't think there was any commercial work, actually. It was all residential. But it was residential, private, and the aged care system, whichever care provider you work for, part of it. You had a few of those clients.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And what work were you doing before you bought this business?
I was actually working for Downer, and I was working on the new metro train project for Melbourne. So the new trains that run from Pakenham into the city.
Yeah, okay.
So I was a part of the group that assembled all the inverters and stuff like that go under the train, take the power in and convert it to usable power, and
Yeah, okay. So inverting AC power to DC or something.
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, AC to DC, and then we just built the machines. There was multiple different ones though. Some went AC to DC and DC to AC. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, okay. So when you bought the business, did you look at different businesses around to see how that compared with price and value? And
nope.
Yep, so just looked at the one.
Just looked at the one, yeah. So just had a look. Looked at his turnover and what machinery he offered, and at the time, we paid his asking price. But part of the deal was that he would come work for me for the first 3 months.
Yeah, okay.
On handover, originally he wanted me to come work for him.
Yeah,
yeah. So that didn't. Yeah, so I got him over the line. We paid. I would say compared to what you see people saying they pay online on the Facebook groups, we paid top dollar. But in doing that, paying what he asked, I knew buying the business from a 65-year-old man he was a great worker and he did a great job. I'm selling 40. I was only 39 at the time, or 38, or just turned 40 actually. Whatever. Bit of a gap difference, and I knew whatever he could do, I could do twice as much. So I was fairly confident in being able to take care of the workload.
Yeah, fair enough. So when you looked at the turnover, did you compare turnover to expenses and go, all right, is this actually profitable?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
Yeah, so
the estimation was that the business would pay itself back within 3 years at the most.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The business paid itself back 3 times over in the first year.
Now, if I know anything about you, I know that you're willing to work hard and just slog it out and make sure you get that done. So I'm guessing you've done a pretty good job of getting that paid back at the moment.
Yeah.
Not quite 3 years yet, though, is it?
No, it paid itself back 3 times over in the first year.
There you go.
Yeah, so it was worth it.
Yeah, okay. So when you took over the business, you had him with you for the first 3 months. Yep. Did you lose a lot of customers with the changeover?
Didn't lose one.
Even when he left?
No. Well, there was... When you say lost customers that left us because I bought the business, no. Customers that left that were... I dropped a few customers after a few times of doing them, obviously.
Yeah, fair enough.
As you would do. But yeah, no, from handover, pure handover, no, there was no clients that actually left.
Yeah, okay.
And I believe that all came down to having him on board for 3 months.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that most people never do, and it's one way of having good client retention is to actually do a handover period where you're both there.
Yep, there was 1 or 2 clients that still went to him even coming into the last month, of work,
Yeah.
they still go to him, and I'm not sure why, but they're still clients now anyway. So, and
Yeah.
it was just that was a bit awkward sometimes, but that was about it.
Yeah, people have trouble with change. So a lot of people would, and I guess having that 3-month changeover would have given those people time to acclimatise to the idea a little bit, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd highly recommend if you can to get that included in any purchase. You can.
Yeah. So with those 75 customers, was that enough to make you busy 5 days a week?
No, it wouldn't have been. Not full time, but that number quickly grew. Especially after the 3-month period, because after he left, we didn't advertise or anything, but we got a massive roll on there, and we picked up quite a fair few clients through word of mouth.
Yeah.
So, and then, ended up having to actually employ someone. I think it was literally 3 weeks after he left. I was like, no, I need an employee now. And then that came about real quickly. One day I woke up and I'm like, I've got to do this many jobs. And I'm like, there's no way I can do this many jobs.
Yeah.
And then suddenly nearly every day was like that.
Once he'd gone and you're trying to do them on your own, you're like, this isn't working.
Yeah, pretty much. And I didn't say no back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just keep on taking more work and found your first employee.
Yeah. The only way I'd stop work was when it was dark and when it was not light in the morning.
So that'd mean you're basically doing 7 days a week, then just going.
Yeah, I did. I think I was 60-something days straight working 3 times in a row. And at the end of that time, I fell into a hole a couple of times. Burnt myself out.
That's a good way to burn out, that's for sure.
Yeah, I do not do that anymore.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, okay. So when you grew the business, did you start needing to buy more equipment as well, or were you keeping it pretty well with what you had at the time?
No, so the business came with your stock standard equipment of stock standard equipment from 3-4 years ago, being a 2-stroke whippersnipper and a Honda lawnmower, and then the Walker ride-ons. Very quickly, I wanted to get into battery equipment, and I made that decision early on. And while the business was still small and had the opportunity to go out and buy 2 whippersnippers and 2 batteries to start off with, and as the business brought in more money, I could go out and buy another battery here and there to make sure I got through each day. And before I knew it, I had more batteries than I actually did need, and I still got batteries sitting in the back room there in boxes that I haven't used yet. But yeah, I got to grow the business. I got to grow my battery side of the business with the business, and also invest in inverter system, dual battery system in your car, so I can charge the batteries on the go.
Yeah, okay. A lot of people have been asking about which brand of battery tool to buy, and I don't like to recommend one brand of battery for everyone or every situation. Dealer support and access to parts and service all play a big role in that decision. Some brands have better tools for specific needs or each product category. I've been using a variety of brands, and I endeavour to provide unbiased interviews on Aussie Lawn Stars with as many of those product brands as possible. I reached out to Ego Power Plus through the podcast because of how Barry supports the industry and Ego owners. Barry has impressed me with his loyalty to customers in providing support and listening to the needs of the industry, which has resulted in a full lineup of new commercial tools landing in Australia over the last 12 months that has positioned Ego as a leader in the commercial tool space for outdoor power equipment. Visit egopowerplus.com.au to see if they have the tools you need today. So with that dual battery system in your car, does that keep up with the amount of batteries you use, or does it just help a little bit to supplement?
No, it smashes them. I don't even charge anything inside anymore. Everything's done on the car during the day. And I go through, I have the 300i batteries for the Husqvarna range.
Yes.
They're getting a bit long in the tooth now, to be honest. I've actually noticed it just coming out of winter, after being cold through winter, their life has shortened up a little bit. The power delivery hasn't changed, but their life, how long they stay charged for has. But I still get through today on probably 4 full batteries.
Yeah, okay. I've found the same. I got 2 batteries when I first started with the Husqvarna gear, and I've still got those 2 batteries. Their manufacture date is 2018. So that gives you an idea. 6 years old, and I still use them at home. I don't use them at work, but I use them at home, and they still deliver good power, just not runtime.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
But for home use, it's good enough.
yeah. Well, I've got three 300s and three 200s that are always with me on the road. The 200s go in my blower,
Yep.
and the 300s go in the whippersnipper. And for no other reason besides I like the actual balance that the 300 puts into the whippersnipper.
Yeah.
When I'm whippersnipping. But if I'm pruning and I'm doing long reach stuff, I'll chuck the small batteries in because I've got the split shaft Husky.
Yeah. So you just
325i, I think it is.
Yep. So you're just swapping the shaft over to hedge trimmer or whatever you need.
Yeah. But if I'm on the hedge trim for ages, I'll put the smaller battery in it just because you hold it up.
Yeah, for sure. And you still get a pretty decent runtime with the 200, I'm guessing.
It's really weird. I would have thought that hedge trimming would take more power out of the battery, but I swear those batteries last longer hedge trimming than they do whippersnipping.
Oh, that definitely lasts a lot longer hedge trimming. The hedge trimmer has a lot less load than the whippersnipper does.
Yeah, but I run the hedge trimmer. When I run it, I have the hedge trimmer, the whippersnipper turned flat out. But when I'm whippersnipping, I have it on its lowest setting. It's really weird. But like you said, it's less load.
Yeah, it's definitely less load. So I find with the dedicated Husky hedge trimmer, I was getting 4 or 5 hours runtime out of one battery.
Yep.
And it's substantially better than the whippersnipper.
Oh yeah.
At least double.
Yeah, well, you can drain one of those batteries on the whippersnipper in about 45 minutes if you're on it the entire time.
Yeah,
like if you're slashing down an abandoned house backyard.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I've flattened one of those Husky batteries in about 15 minutes doing really thick work with it, and it's not the right tool for the job. Definitely not the right tool. But it's a good place to test and go, okay, how quickly can you flatten a battery?
Yeah, they don't work very well with blades, though, I found, because there's no clutch.
True.
Don't go putting a blade on it and slashing grass. It doesn't work. Just get the Honda out for that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, Honda or the older two-stroke mower, the whippersnippers.
Oh yeah. I don't know how people still use two-strokes, but anyway, that's them. I still have a container of two-stroke from my blower. That's about it. That's the only two-stroke item I have. So
yeah. Well, I've still got a Stihl 4-mix whippersnipper, the 131. That's interesting. They're actually a 4-stroke, but a 2-stroke mix fuel.
Not aware of them, sorry. Probably a bit old for me.
Interesting engine. No, they're pretty new, but they're
okay.
They're an interesting engine. It's not my favourite whippersnipper, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay, yep.
I prefer a normal.
With the battery stuff, the lack of exhaust fumes and heat.
Yep.
It's day and night difference.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And cost-wise, I say the battery system had itself paid back within the first half of the year. I'd already saved in fuel what I was going to spend if I hadn't been using two-stroke and stuff.
That's really good savings, isn't it?
Yeah, and then obviously buying batteries as the business made more turnover and as I needed them was better than going out and spending, massive amounts on 10 batteries and all this different gear. I was able to pick and choose when to buy.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just looking at my fuel expenses earlier today, talking to somebody about these issues and going, okay, it's worthwhile when you go to battery tools for all your handheld tools, and the only fuel I put through equipment is the ride-on mowers and the backpack blower.
Yep. If you don't mind me asking, what's your weekly fuel bill?
Weekly for the equipment? I'd probably, to be honest with you, I probably don't buy it weekly. I buy about 80 litres of fuel at a time.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Yes, all right.
With 80 litres, I'm probably doing, in winter, maybe once a month, and in summer, I'm probably doing it 2 or 3 times a month.
Yep. So I can only go on what I've just come out of, which is sort of winter. I'm buying fuel about every 8 to 9 days, and I buy 2 40-litre bread drums.
Yeah, okay.
And fill up a 5-litre drum, and that does me. Yep. And that's running the Honda mowers with the walkers.
Yeah, well, I've got 2 20 litres, 2 15-litre drums, and then a 10-litre drum. So the 10-litre is what I do 2-stroke mix in, and then the other ones are all 4-stroke.
Yeah, well, you're easily double the amount I'm carrying.
It's It's a good way to do it. Buy as much fuel as I can, then I don't have to go to the servo for a while.
Yeah, I know. Downtime's hell, isn't it?
It sure is.
Especially when you got the employee in the car too. He won't get out and fill them up.
He needs a talking to.
Yeah, no, his boss is probably too nice.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so you've had an employee pretty much the whole time then, haven't you? Because as soon as the old business owner left, you put on an employee.
Correct. I've actually had two, but I've actually haven't had anyone working with me since January this year now.
Okay, so you've been going solo.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, and how's that working? Are you doing less work or are you getting more efficient at doing the work?
No, neither. So I'm actually doing more work. I think I'm doing more properties, but I'm doing better properties. And the stuff I'm doing is probably not that there was a heap of unregular stuff, but I'm not saying yes to those one-off jobs that you walk into and they take you an hour and a half longer than you actually expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you heading for burnout again with not having an employee?
Yeah. Oh well. Yes. Probably. I don't know. Ask me after spring. Ask me in December.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's sort of hard. So the last few months have been a bit broken up with work. Actually, I've actually managed some time off, albeit maybe forced or not, or chosen or not, I should say. So
Yeah.
But
No, it's good to have a little bit of time off in winter.
Yeah, well, it is, but you lose that fitness very quickly. And coming back into work, I was constantly ringing the wife, have you got that ad in the paper yet? Get that bloody ad into the paper. And then now I'm smashing out my day's work and I'm getting home and I'm, through the day and I could keep going.
Yeah.
But, 2 months ago, no, I was dying after 2 jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, I've found that several seasons where going on a winter holiday and then getting back into it towards the end of winter, it's like, I've got to recondition the body.
Yeah, very much. Like, I find it's a very aerobic fitness. Like, once you don't do this job every day, you drop out of that fitness level very quickly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't track me heart rate. I really should. I think I've said this to you before, but I do average. It's been a while since I looked at them, but I do average over 20 kilometers a day on foot.
Yeah, that's a fair bit.
Yeah.
I'm just looking it up.
No. Well, today I only did 13,000, but I was on the ride on a lot of the day.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, find that helps to give you a break when you get a lot of time on the ride on.
25,000 steps on Thursday last week, 15.9 Ks.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's me average day, really.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
But I find, because you're mowing and whippersnipping now.
Yeah, so you're pretty flat out then working without an employee and you're going to get busier.
Yeah, correct.
So you'll be starting to look for another employee soon, I think.
We actually did put an ad in the paper, but recent events have just sort of canned that at the moment. So
yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Just not business related, personal things that are going on at the moment. So
yeah, okay, no worries. So in terms of other things you've been doing in the business, over that 2 years, you said you've grown the amount of work you've done.
Yep.
So you've made it so you're doing a lot more. Or are you doing more than 75 customers, or are you doing mostly bigger?
I actually just checked before coming on here, and it says I have 196 different properties that I service.
Yeah, that's
so now. Be it some of them aren't. They're not definitely not all fortnightly, but 3/4 of them would be. I'd say.
Yeah.
There'd be a good 50 in there that wouldn't be. They'd be like monthly, and there's a couple in there that are even 3 monthly. But 190 odd properties. So, and some of them are obviously clients who own multiple properties.
Yes.
And I'm not talking we've got a set of units that has 30 units in it. I don't do anything like that. But that would just be one address anyway in Sortscape. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've had jobs like that where there's multiple units on one property, but just classified as one job.
Yeah.
Usually,
I did 40 jobs today.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Efficiency is the thing that rules a business and the decisions you make as a small business owner. Right Mowers give you the options in their product lineup to match efficiency with size, fuel usage, and the type of jobs you want to target, from catching to mulching or side discharge, from roadside verges to acreages, and manicured lawns to 6 feet tall and super long. I've been using the Right Stander I 42-inch with a Catch Pro for manicured areas and the Stander ZK61 to maximise productivity for large open acreage mowing. If you need to replace your push mower, try the 32-inch Stander B. If you have more open access to residential properties, there's a 42 through to 48-inch option that suits you. And if you want to enter the acreage market, the 52, 61 and 72-inch machines have choices in engine size and model type to suit the work you want it to do. Right Standards go the distance, saving you time and money season after season.
Thank you for listening to Aussie Lawn Stars. Please remember to rate and review the show on the Apple Podcasts app or the player you use. Exciting new shows are released every Monday. Make sure you follow or subscribe to hear the next episode.